Oh, no. No. This is bad. This is very, very bad. This is really bad. They just can't get my nose right.
Since its release in 2010, Tangled has become a firm fan favorite, and despite the neatly wrapped up ending, many feel that there's more to the story and would love to see Rapunzel and Flynn Rider return. So will Tangled 2 ever happen? And how strong would a sequel actually be? With many fans wanting a sequel, including me, it's time to break down a potential plot, details, and everything you need to know about a potential Tangled 2. And stick around until the end of the video because I got some really exciting news for us fans. Ooh. Theatrical sequels used to be a rarity for Disney, and in particular the Walt Disney Animated Classics canon, but that changed with the back-to-back sequels Ralph Breaks the Internet and Frozen 2 in 2018 and 2019. These two movies broke an almost 30-year sequel dry spell for Disney. While Disney honored the video game-inspired Wreck-It Ralph and musical mega hit Frozen with sequels, Tangled, on the other hand, released just 2 years before Wreck-It Ralph, was overlooked for a part 2. I'm pretty upset about it. Tangled is still considered to be a groundbreaking moment for the House of Mouse, marking a huge and expansive leap forward in animation techniques. Software engineer Kelly Ward spent 6 years writing computer programs to try and get the hair right. In fact, it wasn't until March 2010 that they actually figured it out, and the movie, by the way, came out in November 2010. Talk about getting things done at the last second possible. It's been almost 14 years since the first movie, and with such a strong fan base, you might be wondering why it hasn't happened yet. Well, during the last few years, Disney was focused mainly on telling new, fresh stories, such as Raya and the Last Dragon and Encanto, with a few sequels thrown in there. However, things seem to be changing at the studio. In 2023, Disney CEO Bob Iger confirmed that there would be at least 2 proper Disney sequels in the near future, Frozen 3 and Zootopia 2, in addition to a Toy Story 5 from Pixar, as well as Inside Out 2, which all of them I am super excited to see because let's be honest, we love those franchises. Well, Disney will be focusing more on building on past franchises and adding sequels to build those universes even more. And even though Iger didn't mention a Tangled 2, this announcement does renew hope that the film may still happen one day. Perhaps the reason there hasn't been a Tangled 2 announcement yet is simply a logistical or financial explanation. I mean, Tangled took more than 6 years to make and cost a whopping $260 million, a figure that makes it one of the most expensive animated films ever made. But the film did make $590 million, making it a huge success as well. So if there was going to be a sequel, Disney would have to ensure it lived up to its predecessor. And it is possible that they feel the budget and time could be better spent elsewhere. This Tangled fan would disagree. Come on, I can't be alone, right? Probably why you clicked on this video. And honestly, the question of whether there will be a Tangled 2 is answered somewhat in that they've kinda already done it, just not in the feature film format. As a testament to the popularity of the 2010 original, the movie was followed up with a short, a TV movie, and a series that further expanded on the Tangled lore. In 2012, Disney released a 6-minute short titled Tangle Ever After, which revolves around the wedding of Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, which, by the way, if you've never seen, go watch, super cute. This was followed by the 58-minute TV movie Tangled Before Ever After in 2017, set between the events of Tangled and the short. And then finally, there was the TV series Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, which was also known as Tangled the series for its first season, which ran for 3 seasons between 2017 and 2020, and even has a spin-off mini-series of its own called Tangled Shortcuts. Get it? Because, you know, short hair. I'm sorry, that made me giggle a little bit. That's pretty clever naming. This means there was a ton of lore and story from the Tangled universe made, and the existence of these suggests that Disney might already feel as though that sequel box has been checked. Given that the follow-up series and shorts also feature returning cast members from the original film, you could argue that these properties act as the sequel, and we may never see a second feature-length film, which honestly makes me just want to cry.
It's a big deal.
But don't lose hope just yet, because what has the producer and directors said about Tangled 2? Of course, in order for a successful sequel to get the green light, it usually needs to have the blessing of those involved in the first movie. Tangled producer Ron Conley said that directors Nathan Greno and Byron Howard weren't really interested in doing a sequel, and speaking more generally said, the film industry is kind of rife with sequels right now, in what could be considered quite a crowded marketplace, particularly if Disney follows through on their proposed sequel plans. A Tangled sequel seems less and less likely. But I would argue that is why we could see one. I believe there is always more story to tell as long as there is a good one to tell. We have had multiple sequels to Toy Story, and every time it hits different, but in a good way. We have also had sequels to Frozen and Cars, and I would argue I enjoyed Frozen 2 and Cars 3 more than its predecessors. And Toy Story 3 was better than the first one. That's just my opinion. Come at me in the comments, I'm ready to take it. So what would make a good sequel to Tangled, especially considering all the extra media we got from the franchise over the years? Even though Tangled gives us a fairly conclusive happily ever after, you know, evil's defeated, Rapunzel reunites with her parents, and she and Flynn Rider get together. But there are still some unanswered questions that a sequel could dive into. In the first film, the focus is predominantly on Rapunzel's quest to discover the meaning of the floating light she sees on her birthday, and therefore we don't learn too much about Flynn, beyond that his real name is in fact Eugene Fitzherbert, which is just such a clean name, I'm kinda jealous. This could be something a sequel looks at, and they could either adapt the backstory explored in Rapunzel's Tangled adventure, where we learn about his surprising royal parentage, or come up with something new. His fall from grace from a prince to a thief could be a very interesting angle, and something that could be expanded upon if someone from his past made an appearance. With Flynn Rider being one of the most popular Disney princes of all time, this would resonate huge with Tangled fans like me who want to learn more about the character. As for a Rapunzel-focused story, while already explored in the TV series, Rapunzel's journey after she learns she is a princess and reunites with her parents could also provide a compelling narrative for a second movie. If Rapunzel does still have the healing and rejuvenating powers of the sun-drop flower within her, there would surely be no shortage of potential baddies that would want to exploit her abilities, giving plenty of material for a sequel. Turning this into a huge box office film would be worth it in my opinion. Many people don't have time to watch multiple seasons of a show, so many Tangled fans may have never watched any of the shows or spin-offs of Tangled simply because of their busy lives or not even knowing about it. But with a movie going into theaters with major marketing behind it, it could prove to be worth it for the House of Mouse. But a theory I have for a second movie could involve all of these storylines, but include Flynn and Rapunzel becoming the king and queen of Corona and having their own child. Seeing them go through being parents and also deal with running a kingdom would be very interesting to see. It would connect with both parents and kids, as well as provide a new conflict in the story. We could see a new kingdom trying to overthrow them to get Rapunzel's powers, all while they protect the happily ever after they thought they had and protect their new child from danger. They could create even more of a twist if the kingdom they were fighting ended up being the dark kingdom Flynn is from, adding an unexpected, impactful twist in a story that would pin Flynn against protecting his own kingdom and respecting where he came from. This would also allow us to get to know more about Flynn's past and touch on what I mentioned earlier about his fall from prince to thief. If it were up to me, making Tangled 2 is a no-brainer, and one I am 100% sure is going to happen in the future. With Disney and Pixar making and focusing on multiple sequels in the coming years, I believe Tangled 2 is among those discussions. With a cult-like audience and fans who want more Tangled adventures with Flynn and Rapunzel, one of these stories for a sequel I believe would make fans very happy. And the good news that you have been waiting for is that speaking in 2023, producer Ron Conley spoke about a possible sequel and teased, we'll see. Stranger things have happened. Which that just tells me that this is inevitably going to happen, because why wouldn't it? And trust me, it would easily make millions if done right. But would you want to see Tangled 2? And which story would you like to see? Let me know in the comments below. And check out this video right here, because if you enjoyed this one, you'll probably enjoy that one as well. And I will see you over there. Bye-bye.